All right, let's get started. I got my coffee. Let's turn down the audio just a tad because I feel like I'm getting some feedback here. All right, so we're gonna mix things up a little bit. Switch over to my gigantic face. Maybe not, question mark. Oh, why did my webcam go out? That's weird. Yeah, camera's just completely gone. That's fun. Huh. Okay. So that's some fun technical difficulties. Yeah, apparently my webcam just completely gone out. That's not it. Streamlabs used to be a really great piece of software, and now all of a sudden I'm having all kinds of issues with it. Video capture device. There we go. So just had to kind of redo that for some reason. And then here, same thing. Again, same exact assets that I was using yesterday, and apparently it's not going to auto scale for me. Like again, Streamlabs used to be just a fantastic piece of software, and now I can't even like auto scale. I mean, that's just clearly not scaling correctly. Oh, this is annoying. Stretch the screen. No, that's just not it. And it's like a weird aspect ratio. Whatever, dude. This is super annoying. Alright. I'm not going to diddle with my camera this entire time. But I am quite annoyed. See, now I'm just giant. This is so dumb. Alright, we're just going to leave it like that. So today we're going to work on something different. It's not going to be malware. So if you're here for a malware stream, sorry. Not happening tonight. I had this really cool idea for a web app, actually. So we're going to build that out tonight because I kind of feel like mixing things up. Rust is fun. I still love Rust. I'm not changing from Rust. We're still going to be doing lots of malware on this channel. But we're going to do something a little bit more useful. Useful in that like more people can use it than just people who want to use malware and stuff. So here's the idea. I've already started on it. Let's see. This is going to be, it's going to start fairly simply as a Mastodon peer scraper. I'm going to go ahead and initialize a Git repository for it. We are going to deploy this eventually. Probably tonight, but probably not on stream because I don't really feel like dealing with that on stream. There's just lots of things that I could screw up there. But we are eventually going to, I didn't share any of this stuff out. Let's see. Share it on my Discord real quick. Let me switch over to screen. Hop in the Discord. I'm also in OwlSec chat, if anybody else is in that. But let's go over to announcements. working on some Mastodon Fediverse web app development. And we'll share the YouTube link. I guess I should grab the YouTube link. Shareable link. And we'll cut that and actually post it on Mastodon. Cool. Okay, so the plan today is we're going to develop an application that is NVim. Let's just do, let's see, docs.md. The plan here is we're going to develop something that is going to allow us to gather information on different Mastodon instances. Purpose being, if you're looking at joining an instance, or if you want to just know more information about an instance, that's available in a lot of third-party places, but it's not necessarily like super easy to find. So I'm going to create another third-party place for you to find that information. Basically, that's the plan. So our goals for tonight. This is going to get a little bit more ambitious, but for tonight, our goals are go from instance to peered instances, then go one level deep and grab peered instances. All right, so here's kind of a brief explanation of what I mean by all of this. Basically, Mastodon, and I can actually show you. So if you go over to, this is the instance that I'm on, collectiva.social. If you go to /API/v1, and I think it's peers, I believe. No, it's not. Let me look at my code real quick. So let's go into our backend code. I'll give you a sneak peek at that real quick. It is API v1 instance peers. So if you go to API v1 /instance peers, you get this big long list. And what this big long list is it's a list of other Mastodon instances that this instance is federated with. The whole idea behind the federated model is essentially for servers to be able to create relationships among themselves. So I'm part of a pretty much exclusively anarchist Mastodon instance. So it's also paired with a lot of different instances, frankly. Blessed Keeks, Google.social. I don't know what most of these are actually. But a lot of them are going to be fairly similar. They're going to have similar political views or similar topics that they talk about, similar hobbies, things like that. That's the whole idea behind the federated model. If you are an instance administrator, you can decide, hey, this instance right here looks cool. They've got shared interests with us. Let's go ahead and federate. And when you federate with another server, then everybody on your server sees all of the posts in their federated tab from all of the other servers that you're federated with. So you can kind of create this cool little community of people who all have similar ideas, similar viewpoints, things like that. So this right here is not super highly available. If you didn't know this specific way to look at your instances peers, then you wouldn't have access to that. So the whole idea with this app, or at least the earliest versions of this app, is going to be to offer you that information a little bit more easily. So what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to input an instance name and immediately grab all of the peers, and then go to those peers and grab all of their peers and kind of keep marching through this model. Now we're going to keep it very simple. So the idea here is to keep it simple. If I can figure out how to use Vim. So keep it simple. To start off, we are going to have no databases. We are going to have no authentication. We are going to have very simple UI. What else are we going to have, y'all? Payment. No payment, just a donation link. So I have a little donation link through Stripe that you can use. And basically it's like a pay what you want kind of donation link. There's not going to be like recurring donations. We're not going to store any of your financial data. All of that kind of fun stuff is going to go through Stripe because I definitely don't want to have to deal with that. And I also don't want to throw this behind a paywall because honestly, there's no reason to pay for it, for one thing. And for another, I kind of want that information to be like more freely available and not just stuck behind a paywall. So that's the idea. We're going to build this with build using dead simple FastAPI backend and ReactJS front end. In the beginning, we're not going to be using like tons of frameworks. I don't think I'm going to even use like Bootstrap, Tailwind, anything like that. It's going to be as simple as humanly possible. And yes, I know I could probably do this with no backend at all, but when you can, why not? A literally perfect. What's up? How's it going? Nice to see you in chat. For those of you who are on YouTube, I am live on Twitch. For those of you who are on Twitch, I'm live on YouTube as well. So feel free to mix it up. It's the same username on both platforms, so keeping that easy too. All right, let's get started. So I cheated a little bit, and I went ahead and started on the back end, and I'll show you what that looks like. Let me switch over to here. So obviously that's a big giant ass mess. But let's restart that back end. And we can open up the docs because we're using FastAPI, and FastAPI is amazing. We can open up the docs page and view how we actually access this. So 127.0.0.1 on page 8000 docs. So here we've got the Swagger page for that, and we've got one endpoint that is query fed. We're going to input a Fediverse location. So in this case, collectiva.social. We're going to throw that into this blank right here after we press try it out, execute. It's going to load forever, and it should give us this big long list of endpoints. So what we're doing here, both to speed things up a little bit and to kind of collect this information longer term so that we can do some more deep analysis on it, is we're actually caching this within this JSON file. So apparently that's not working. So that's thing number one that we've got to work on. So let's open up Vim, pop into data, feds.json. So we're not actually writing it out to instances. And I think that's because that was broken last time I tried it. So api.py. So if we look here, this is our endpoint. So that's checking if it's cached. So we need to change this over to actually hit the endpoint. Check cache is equal to shit. Let's see. So what we need to do here is actually hit that endpoint or that helper function we've got called check cache, check_cache, and we're going to pass in the fed that we got. So what that's going to do is it's going to check the cache, and if it finds it within the cache, and that's just that JSON file, we're not using any databases, like I said, keeping it very simple. It's going to check that cache. If it finds it in the cache, then it's going to return the object that's associated with that instance, and we'll go through the data model here in a second. And if it doesn't find it, then it's going to return none, So we can throw that into a quick if statement. If this is literally anything other than none, then it's just going to go ahead and return that object. If it doesn't find it in the cache, then it's going to go ahead and actually grab it. So here is where I commented this out last time, but it should work now. So this JS is equal to new item. That's get feds fed. So that's going to actually hit that API endpoint right there, that public API endpoint, and it's going to return the data that we want. So that's the plan, at least. Now, it was broken the last time I tried this. Let's give it a shot now. Hop back over here. We're having some weird issues with the FastAPI debugger. Let's go ahead and get rid of this print statement here because we know that works. All right. We need to go back up here and insert mode, comment that out, and pop over here, clear our screen, and restart our back end. We're starting on the back end because that's my favorite part of the project, and it's honestly like the bigger part of the project. Getting this to work is like half the battle. Everything else is fairly simple. So now what we're looking for is for this to correctly cache. So basically to write out to that JSON file. I'm gonna hit execute, it's gonna load. All right, so it says uncache this time. Now what should happen is we should pop over here, hit ex, hit our data directory, hit our feds.json, and it works. Cool. So now what should happen, let's pop back over here so that if something is broken, we can fix it pretty quickly. Now what should happen is the next time we hit execute, it should return faster, and it should return from the cache instead of actually reaching out to that public API endpoint. So we're gonna hit execute again. It seems like it returned faster, and it returned from the cache. Cool. So basically, that's most of our backend done right there, which is awesome. Now, we can get started on the front end. So let's see. I actually didn't need to do that. Did need to do that though. Go back up here and comment that back out. Let's go to our front end directory. We're also going to have to run npm init on this. So we can kill our backend for now. cd to the front end and npm init. All of that is normal. Ah, shit, wait. I actually meant to use TypeScript for this. So npm init template equals TypeScript. I think that's how you do it. May not be. Utility, yeah, that should have actually worked. And we should be able to pass -y to skip all the prompts. It did. Created package.json, cool. Now we should be npm I react router DOM Axios. That might be all we need. We're gonna go ahead and install that. So this is just installing our dependencies. So let's make a directory called source. npm run. No, it's npm start. Okay, so I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here. So we're actually going to delete the front end real quick because I'm going to absolutely 110% cheat. And well, it may not actually let me. Delete -r. Okay, I'm just going to do this in here. So I'm going to use create React app just because I don't feel like dealing with all of the dependency issues on stream. That's just kind of lame. And I'm not confident enough in my ability to use, honestly, things without create React app to like actually stream it. And again, we're focusing on easy here. So npm, let's see if we've got it installed. Create React app, and it's actually npx, I think. Npx create React app front end. There we go. Like I said, we're keeping all of this very easy. I could make this another stream where I struggle with dependencies and shit like that, but I just don't feel like dealing with that today. Man, people do not show up for web app streams, huh? I've got an average view duration of 27 seconds and a top concurrent viewer rate of 1 on YouTube. Twitch is not too much better. Sucks, man. What are you gonna do? Just want to build cool things. The video will probably do all though. Oh, this is taking forever. All right, so cd front ends. Damn it. We didn't use the TypeScript template, and I don't know that I really care enough to go back and redo all of that. npm start. That should open up the default. Did throw that here. All right, so let's pop on over to front ends, and we are going to get rid of a lot of this stuff. So we don't need anything CSS. We don't need anything test, CSS. Don't need the logo. Don't need that. Don't need that. Need very, very little here. In public, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that, that. Probably keep that, probably keep that. Eventually during deployment, we'll use that. But for now, let's hop into app.js. We'll get rid of anything having to do with these. Port as React from React. Let's see, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of all of this. All of this. And should compile. It'll be ugly, but it should compile at least. It did not. Oh, I left something with port web vitals in it. Get rid of that, that, and that. Nope. Just that. Now we're compiling. It's going to be ugly, but it will compile. Cool. So we're starting fresh. Now I need to remember how to create a directory in NeoVim. rw create directory. Hit D. Type the name of the new directory. Oh, easy enough. Let's see. So we're going to do D, and we are going to create a components directory. we're going to create an assets directory. It should be all we need. So within our components directory, we are going to create a header directory. We are going to create a footer directory. We are going to create a, we need a directory for, let's see what else. Input bar directory and a table directory. All right, so all of these are going to correspond to components, basically, React functional components. And I wrote a blog, and I'm going to show my blog out because why not? I wrote a blog on how basically I lay out all of my React projects. Organizing a React web application. I'll post that in chat real quick. If for no other reason than to have it during the video. So it's this blog post right here. Basically it goes through my methodologies of kind of laying out a React web application. The methods that I use to actually like organize everything. I think it's super handy. It's kind of like a good organizing principle, or at least a decent organizing principle, and it's what I'm going to be doing here. So let's start with the footer because that's the easiest. Footer.js. We're going to create a React functional component, so that's going to be import from React, import as React from React, and this is going to be function. This is footer. And export default footer. So creating just a simple React functional component here, and we're going to just return something in here. Let's do a div /div. Don't know why that indented. That is kind of weird. And let's just do footer for right now. And we're gonna have to open up a new tab. So there. And then we're gonna do this. Ah, shit, this is not in the right place. That's weird. So footer is not in the right place. Envim move file. Can't remember exactly how you're supposed to do it. It's netrw move file. Netrw move file. And you use and T, this makes that mark file target. So putting it in source components footer. Okay, apparently that's incorrect. All right, this isn't working well. Like literally right off the bat. Wait, now where did it go? Uh-oh. We're going to move it to front end. Source, components, footer. Shit. Front end, source, components, footer, footer.js. That moved that. Now what we need to do is net rw create file in current directory. If you want to create a new file when you're reviewing Vim's File Explorer, simply hit the % sign. Okay, cool. So I was using E, which creates it in like the default directory. Components, footer, footer.js, that's in the right place. Now let's hop on over to app, and we're going to import it. Import footer from, let's see, it'll be in components, footer. Let's see if that compiled. Did not. All right, that did. And now we have to actually use it. This is going to be within its own div. And footer. Compiled fine. And pop it open. We've got a footer. All right, so this footer is going to take something fairly simple. First, let's do some basic styling. Let's grab Mastodon's color. So, should be able to search Mastodon color scheme. Mastodon theme black lead. So what we should be able to do is just use a color picker. Let's see, Windows color picker. Can't remember how to do it. Windows key Shift C. Windows key Shift C. So that's not it. It's in Power Toys. One Shift S. Then by pressing the clipboard button on the main window of the tool. Okay, so we'll just do it that way. So we should just be able to take it from there. Let's do it this way. Let's just go to Paint, paste it in. We should be able to get a color picker this way. We can. So now we just need to, let's see. Paint, get RGB value of color. Not color, but whatever. Edit colors is what it says. There we go. So now we've got the RGB there, 98, 98, 253. So let's go here and let's just create a style.js using % sign this time. Let's just do style .js. We're going to do all of our styles in JavaScript because I am not going to do any CSS that I don't actually need to. Body style. And we're going to do export default body style. Now, body style is going to have a background color. I think we actually have to name it this way of RGB. It was 98, 98, 253. 98, 98, 253. Now here, don't need to be in this file anymore. We can go back to front ends, back to source, back to app.js, and actually import it. Import body style from .style.js. Let's see if that compiled correctly. Did not. Oh, it's a lowercase. One thing, don't need that. Do need this ./style. See if that fixed our issue. It did not. And it might need to be lowercase. Yep, that worked. All right. And here, we're just going to put it at the top div. Should be able to. Style equals body style as React dot, I think it's CSS properties. As React.css properties. I think that's how you do it. React.css properties. I think that's right. Let's see if it allowed us to compile. Ooh, it did not like that at all. So you might need to throw it. We may not actually need this. Let's make sure that we actually need this before we do it. Also, I've not been checking chat. How's everybody doing? All 0 of you. All right. So let's make sure that I'm not typing in chat. That compiled. Let's see if it actually worked. React app. Okay, so that's the right background. So that is the bright background. Do we want it to be bright or do we want it to be dark? There's the question. Let's grab this here. Grab our color swash. That should just be a straight black, but I'm going to make sure it is. So first, we got to figure out how we want to design this. Obviously, this is just the footer for right now, so it's a fairly small box. But we do need to decide fairly quickly how we want to design this. Let's do like an off gray. So let's actually go to Collectiva. And let's see how, okay, so see, this is not a straight up black. So let's just grab the way Mastodon looks, and we'll throw that in here. And let's start grabbing colors from here. So we've got blues, which I like. We don't have that purple, but we do have the blues. So let's grab this gray. Let's edit the colors. So that is 25, 27, 34. So let's go. $25, 27, 25, 27, 24, 34. 34. Write that out. That's going to be a drastically different color. That's going to be a good background. Yeah, so that's a good background. Now we need the text color. Primary text color looks like it's a standard like off-white type color. So let's cancel this. Let's grab this off-white type color. So that's like a gray. We didn't quite catch it. Let's see where's a good place to grab this from. Grab it from one of these icons, like that local icon looks big enough. Yeah, so that was a good one. This is 217, 225, 232. So again, not a straight up white. And we'll do color, RGB, 217, 225, 217, 225, 232, 2. Write that out. That'll change text color. Yep, so we can see that now. All right, so we've got a footer now. We're not going to do anything. Well, we can go ahead and code out the footer, right? Why not? Components. Well, no. Let's go back and keep app open in this tab. Open up a new one. And we will open up components. Footer, footer.js. So what do we want in our footer? We want some explanation of what this project is. So let's talk about that. So let's just say P class name project description /p. We're just going to kind of describe it here. So this application was built live on, I guess I want to plug YouTube probably, a/a YouTube ref equals, let's put in the YouTube link at Valhalla dev, and we'll throw our Twitch in as well. Twitch. And put our ref in there. Twitch.tv/Valhalla dev. All right, so we have our explanation there. Let's put a page break. Probably need to put a page break, don't we? I might change my mind on that. Let's do another one. I'm trying to think of how I want to lay all of this stuff out. Let's just go ahead and make a socials menu. Let's make this its own separate div, actually. And we're going to do class name equals socials div. We'll have a header. Let's make that an H3. Socials. Then we'll have Mastodon as a list. Mastodon. We'll have Twitter as long as I'm on that. We'll have, let's see, YouTube. What am I doing? YouTube. Blog. And Twitch. We'll put Twitch up here. Keep it all grouped in a way that makes sense. Twitch and blog. All right, cool. So that's not going to be styled correctly to begin with, but I'll do for the moment. Not in insert mode. Duh. All right, so we've got our socials list. We've got our project description. Let's put a donate link here, even though we're gonna have a donate button at the top. Donate description. This application was made open source and free of charge. If you'd like to donate, you can do so via Stripe here. Put here. And I'll put that Stripe link in real quick. That doesn't take any time. Let's see where to put it. There it is. Go ahead and throw the Stripe link in. If anybody's just feeling just super kind, I'll throw that in chat as well. Like I said, this is staying free, period, end of discussion. But I'm not going to not put a donation button on there, just in case people are feeling very kind. Let's make sure that works before I throw it in there. There we go. So this is eventually going to be on fediinfo.io is the site that I bought. So you should be able to access it there in a couple of days at least. But yeah, that's where that is. Now, let's see, where are we? So we've got our donation link, we've got our socials. Just don't really know how this is going to end up looking. So what we'll probably end up doing is let's throw all of this in a div. And insert P, P. These indents are going to kill me. And we're going to end up styling this in a specific way. What the hell? How did I screw that up? Missing a closing tag. How do I manage that? I sure am, aren't I? Which means there's a floating P tag somewhere in here. It's gonna annoy the shit out of me, but gonna have to deal with it. Maybe I just straight up didn't have one. That's perfectly possible. All right, so that's rendering correctly, and let's go ahead and do some styling on this. Control Q, front end, source, components, footer, and we're going to do %, and this is going to be styles.js. Let's see, const styles equals empty brackets, export default styles. All right, so don't need to worry about background color. We do need to worry about display. We're going to make this flex, and we're going to make it a flex direction row. What am I doing here? I need to pull chat back up. Basically what we're doing here is we're just kind of like laying out everything in our footer the correct way, so that it looks fancy and pretty and all of that. So display flex direction row, and justify content, I think is what it is, justify content, something like that, space evenly. We're gonna start with that, and it might not be right. Now what's going on with my hotkeys here? Let's go back in our footer and import styles from /styles. That should be fine, and we want to apply those styles here. Let's see if that worked. Doesn't appear so. That might be a caching problem. Oh, I hate the caching problem. Open up a private window where it won't cache anything. Nope, still not working there either. So is it a compilation problem? We're getting an issue on line 8 with footer that we don't have a valid href. Oh, it's because we don't. Because I never actually put it in. Oh. Need to actually put the mouse in the right place, apparently. That is a long, ugly ass link. But it's gonna have to do. Oh, it's because we've got styles instead of styles. Now we should be styling correctly. We are. It's ugly, but we're styling correctly. We want, let's change our link color a bit. Let's see. I can't remember the exact syntax for CSS change clicked link color. Styling links, there we go. Unvisited link is a link, visited link is a visited. Okay, so this might get a little complicated here. So let's do const link styles. Now, the fun part is figuring out how to do Link styling with inline CSS React. This might have it. Ooh, what the hell happened there? The complicated part is what we need to do is stuff like this. So a colon visited. So React style a visited link. Styling links in React. There we go. Should work the same. Assuming you're using React Router, similar link should generate an A tag. So we might actually have to change this a bit. I might just do normal inline styles here. Yeah, let's just do normal inline styles here. So in footer, for all of our links, we could just do a very quick CSS page. It's going to be ugly, but import CSS, CSS styles.css. I just don't feel like wrestling with this right now. And we'll do Control T, Q, front end, source, components, footer. We're going to do a new file called CSS styles.css. And we'll just do a visited. I mean, hell, we actually could do this even simpler. Let's just do a generic style. We can close out of here. Let's just do a generic style for links. So, how would you do that though? I've never actually done this before. So that's with, oh yeah, that's with a library. I don't want to use libraries. That looks like way over engineered. Not gonna play with that. Not a chance. Bobby Hands. So that's in CSS. And we're just gonna do it in CSS. Front end, source, components, footer, and CSS styles.css. We're just going to do just do a generic decoration, none. Let's see if that changes it. It should, I think. Can't resolve CSS underscore styles. Yeah, dot slash. Oh, still have styling on that. Should be able to just remove styling, right? So what we really want to do is, so we don't need that open anymore. I think that is in, yeah, that's the, color. We can just do using color. And what was the color that we used in the file that I just closed? Front end, source, components, footer, styles.js. It's not in there actually. It'll be in our app. Forgetting how I've got all this laid out. App, style.js. So this is the color we want. And that's not what we want. That is. Now that should change the color on all of the links regardless of whether or not they've been visited. Did not, that also might be caching. It's not caching, damn it. So I might need to explicitly say a visited. Come on, man. I keep doing the same shit. There. Now, regardless of whether or not it's been visited, it should have the same exact color. It does not. At all. Even though it should. And this here is why I was trying to avoid writing CSS entirely. It's in the right directory. We are in fact importing it. Can we just get rid of the decoration entirely? A link. It might be like a star link or something like that. Yeah, that's for sure not working. Is it compiling? It's compiling. Selected link, maybe. Let's try to throw a hover on it real quick. See if that's even working. Yeah, so the hover's working fine. We're just not really able to remove that purple color. And that purple color really is an issue right now. Got a visited already used, right? Yeah, a visited is used. Oh wait, I don't think we need these quotes anymore. That's why. That's exactly why. We don't need these quotes anymore because we're not using inline styling. RGB is just a function in CSS. Now everything's gonna work great. Isn't it? No? Yeah, there we go. And we should be able to do decoration, none. I want to get rid of that underline. So CSS, get rid of underlined links. I thought it was decoration. Text decoration. I knew it was close. So we should be able to get rid of these actually. Text decoration. So this is what this is basically saying. Text dash decoration none. Is I don't care whether the link has been visited or not. Just style it this way. All of this work just to like unstyle links. That's why I hate CSS. That show didn't work, did it? Text dash decoration none. Do you literally have to like explicitly put all of them? That would be super annoying if you do. Again, I hate CSS with a burning passion. Yep, I did it. You have to explicitly put all of them. Or I misspelled decoration. Might actually do it. Now let's make sure that it stayed the same. It did. Okay. So I was just misspelling decoration like an idiot. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So we've got our footer now. All that just to create a damn footer. Let's do text align center on that as well. Let's see. I can close this tab out. Should just be able to put this in the body style. Text align center. I think that's what I'm trying to do. It might not be. Oof. Everything disappeared. That's not good. Oh, wait. It's text capital align. Big no-no there. So technically what I want to do definitely looks worse. So we want our socials to be right aligned. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up socials into its own thing. We'll do text align right. And for body style, we want text align center. Now I'm almost certain this is not going to work the way that I want it to, but we're going to pretend like it is. Do I have that open twice? I do. All right. Now in footer, we're going to apply this to style equals styles dot, and that is, I think it's socials or something like that. I'm gonna use my mouse because I'm an asshole. Socials. Again, I know this is not gonna work the way I want it to. Yeah, through fit. And here's why. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to apply two different families of styles. So I'm trying to apply two different families of styles to the overall div, which is not going to work at all. So we're going to need to do this body style. Enter visual. Cut those out. Put that C back in. And paste that. That's gonna work. Now we have to just change over footer to use styles dot body style, I think is what I called it. Yeah, body style. All right, so that should work. It is throwing a fit. Unexpected token on style.js on line 5. One thing, it might be that right there. Then we need a comma here. Then we need to get rid of this comma there. That compile, it did not. On line 9 now. Need to add a comma here. Yep, that looks like it compiled successfully. And we have none of the coloring and none of the correct styles applied. Cool, cool, cool. And it's because we've lost our display. That's interesting. I don't know how that magically got lost. Display, flex, direction, row, justify, content, space evenly. Ooh, big fit there, because we forgot a comma. Huh, that's worse. And it shouldn't be. Exporting body style. Styles.body style. Styles.social. Huh. So this is fun. Alright, we're gonna break out real quick and work on the header. So that's gonna be a little bit more fun than this. Except I actually want to figure out why this isn't working. So we don't actually need this right now. That should change nothing. Also completely lost our styling from app. Oh, did I? This is style.js. Yep. Shit. I styled the wrong style file. Sure did. So all that should be doing is coloring that and coloring that. Everything else needs to be in the other styles. That is one of the many bad things about my method of laying out these JavaScript files, is everything ends up named the same. So this is the styles file that we need. This needs to be any body style. And there. Social style. This one is going to have a specific, what did I want? So for most things I want it to be centered. So text align center. Make sure we keep our commas. Social style. Text align right. Now we go back to our footer. This might have, okay, so that's applying it correctly. Now we just need to go back to our footer and styles dot social style. And that's right aligned, that's center aligned, that is still ugly. We're going to expand the size of that real quick. And we're going to do style equals styles dot social header. Now we're going to do social header. Text align center, and then everything else is going to be aligned right. Social style is going to have a width of, let's make it 30%. That'll widen that box out a little bit. A little bit too much. Let's make that 10%. A little bit better. Except now I'm kind of feeling like that's ugly again. I don't know, man. Let's move on to the header now that it works though. So let's exit out of that. We can exit out of our footer. let's go ahead and insert the header. That way it will eventually, it's going to throw an error right now, but eventually it will render behind there. Let's do import header from components, header, header. And let's go back, open up a new tab real quick. Control Q to open up a new tab, front end, source, components, header, %, header.js, and now we're here. Import from React, import as React from React, and then our normal React functional component function, header, that with a return, and export default header. Header. Now within here, div. All right, so we've got our header open. What we want is a couple of links. So let's do an h3 /h3. We're gonna make a couple of these. Let's do 3p. I'm gonna throw those in a div, and then we're gonna make another div actually. So we're gonna have a parent div. Never mind. Getting very OCD about the way all of this is laid out, and it's not going to do it for me. So we've got the divs there, and then we've got the divs here. Let's just make this a button. And eventually we'll style that button, but for right now, we're just going to paste in our payment link, or our donation link, rather. Right there. Right, and let's do some styling on here. Front end, source, components, header, style.js. All right, so const style is equal to, we need to do a couple of different styles here actually. So yeah, we'll do it that way. Const style equals this, and we'll do a button style. We'll do a container style, and we'll do a link container style. So link container style is just going to do a display flex, a flex direction row, and a align content space. Let's do space around for right now. container style is going to be a display flex direction row, and a line content. That's justify content shit. Space, let's do space evenly between them. Change this to justify. No, it wasn't a line, that didn't sound right. Justify. Check chat real quick while my arm stops cramping. All right, now button style. Let's make this background color. We're gonna do RGB something. We'll decide that here in a second. Now after background color, we need to do a color for the text. Also going to be an RGB something. And we need a padding. And we need, let's see, radius, button radius. Can't remember how you do that. Button radius CSS. How to create round buttons. Let's see. Border radius. We're looking for something along like the 8-pixel route. Border radius. Let's call it 8 pixels and we'll mess with it here in a second. Padding. We want it to be relatively equal padding, but let's do 2px, 4px on the side, 2px on the bottom, 4px on the other side. On the background color, let's hop back over to Mastodon, rip some more of their coloring. Let's see, we can do it in paint because it's already in there. Let's grab this color right here. Thinking that's obviously a good button color because Mastodon chose it. Grab that color. Go to edit colors, 43, 144, 217. Or 43, 144, 217. 144, 217, okay. And then that white color, what was that? Grab that again. We grabbed it from the local icon last time. There we go, looks like that picked it up fine. 217, 225, 232. 217, 225, 232, I think it was. 225, 232. Got it right first time. So let's check and see how that looks so far. It's probably not going to look great to begin with. Oh, that actually didn't work. Looks like the padding might have. And the radius did. But the background color did not. Button colors CSS. So that should work for sure. I'm not actually applying any of these. Duh. So the button is going to have a style of style dot button style. This div is going to have a style of style dot. What did I say it was? Link container style. Link container style. This one is going to have a style of container style. Now we need to import our styles. Style. Should have compiled fine. Pop back over to our app. That's inch. Oh, we don't have any H3s in reality. So let's just do home about blah for right now. Home about blah. So those styles are not working. Not actually applying. Oh, I'm not exporting it. That would be why. Export default style. There we go. I saw it change. Ooh, everything about that's wrong. That background color is not being set at all. That's because everything about it's wrong. What in the world happened here? Let's go back. Grab that button style. Go to edit colors. 43, 144. 43, 144. Oh, that's why. I don't know how I did that. Come on now. $43, 144, 217. We should at least have the right background color for that. We do. We have the right color there. Need to switch our padding around. 4px here, 2px there, 4 and 2. That was basically first. Close. Except here, let's do 8 here and 8 there. It's starting to look closer to what we want. So that container needs to be a little bit wider. So width, this is the normal container. So let's just do 100 view width. And this container needs to be roughly 60% of that, let's say. 60%. Yeah, that's looking better. I need to get rid of this right here because it's keeping the header from being a header. That should be better. Now our header is actually a header. We'll need a little bit of padding on that, or a little bit of margin on that container rather. Let's see. that's a normal container. Let's do a little bit of margin. Let's make it, let's just do 20 pixels to start off with. Looks all right. Is that donate button not moving down for some reason? Let's put an extreme amount of margin on there. Oh, we need to do padding actually. Padding 10px. All right, so that's moving, yeah, that's moving that button down a little bit. All right, so we've got a header. We've got no links on this. We've got no actual fonts. So it's all default shit. I've been going for an hour and a half. And we don't have any functionality, but the back end is done. So once we do add the functionality, it's gonna start going really, really quick, which is good. All right, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a pause on it now. I know I said that we're gonna actually finish it, but I kind of foresee this degrading somewhat over time, and we're about to get to the fun part. So let's save it. We've got a good bit done. We're gonna save it. Back end's done. Front end has got some work done on it. We're good to go. Thank you everybody for joining, for the live stream and for watching the video afterwards.